In this video I tell you about legend of the Soviet aircraft industry. It-154 very nice aircrafts, very nice model of these aircrafts. I use a paid model, so you can download a free version of these aircrafts. In this site you can download model on 154, and in my video I tell you about its native navigation system. It name NVU by Russian, or navigation and computing device, position on pedestal. For the flight using this device you need calculated specific flight plan. I create, for example, this flight plan from Moscow Sheremetyevo to Strigina. It consists of 3 legs, and to calculate him to original navigation system of 154 you need to convert or save it in FSX format. And you need to download the navigation calculator to calculate this flight plan. It is available for download from AFSIM forum. After you install this software, you start it and import flight plan. Flight plan in FSX 2004 format. I open this flight plan, and now you press calculate button. It is the easiest way to use this program, because we use a short flight. We cannot use corrections beacons. If you need corrections in the largest flight plan, you choose select beacon and choose nearest beacon from this flight plan legs. In the top of this list you see nearest beacons from distance to it, and press OK. Press calculate again and press print. I think it need to be printed. Now in order you see the points of flight plan, type of points, latitude, longitude of these points, magnetic declination of these points, and the most important thing, you see true course of the aircraft. You need to program in its FMC or navigation and computing device with course over airport of departure, and this course marked blue It course of airport of arrival. In the start of flight you need the course of airport of departure and distance of the legs flight plan. You see it in this column, and the short value 5 and 10, it linear turn anticipation, but this I will say later. With parameters it's a fork of a flight plan. It not need now, and this not need. And in this row you will see a beacon which is needed to correct the flights and its parameter, but I also tell about it later. To you helpful understand of these parameters, I show you a picture of this flight plan with the first leg of a flight plan. I point this picture for clarity. We consider the information. First you need to know, in white color you see coordinate system of the 134 aircrafts. This coordinate system is similar to the Cartesian coordinate system. S-axis is direct along the axis of the road legs and start in the second point of these legs. And the z-axis is perpendicular to the axis S, and its axis show the linear lateral deviation of aircrafts. In normal flights, z coordinates is always 0. Since the beginning of the coordinate system in the final waypoints, the coordinate S is always negative to programming in the aircraft's FMC. And the S coordinates always corresponds to the length of the rotor legs. In the navigation calculator you see S coordinates in this column, first legs 168, second legs 200 kilometers, and third legs 62 kilometers. Go on a plane and I show you about what I said. I said about this coordinates counter. It's two same coordinates counter in these aircrafts. To programming it, I go to flight engine place, his place where take it with place. I connect batteries for switch to a position, connect the rectifier device and connect GPU. Now you can check the voltage of the line, change this selector, this voltage over batteries, and this position voltage over GPU in these gauges. Now you can start the GPU of these aircrafts. To do this, up this switch, and this switch. You show 3 green lights, control lamps, and press this button, start button of APU. The crew of his readiness for launch, and you see the APU is running. Connect bleed the air from the APU, press and hold this switch in upper position. When this lamp is disengaged, let's go off this switch. And now you change source over power of aircrafts. In this position connect the GPU, and in this position connect the APU. I connect to APU and go to the captain place. Press Shift and 3 button to call the autopilot panel. For comfort programming, I run my utility. It's same program of navigation calculator. I load flight plan. And see the same parameter of flights for these aircrafts. This first leg of my flights. And on this panel, in the left side, you see the autopilot panel. To work with autopilot and FMC, you need to connect the power for the system. This switch connect the power. I briefly tell you about autopilot function. In the upper of this panel, you see 4 button lamp. It's source for information for the autopilot. With button set a course mode. In this mode, the aircraft should be given a course. With button lamp connect the FMC units to the autopilots. With button lamps set the mode to follow into VIR beacon 1, follow the VIR beacon 2, and this button reset button reset all source of information. Below you see this switch connect the navigation mode, landing navigation mode, LNAV mode. This switch connect landing mode, connect flight director, approach mode, glide slope capture mode. Below on this panel, this free lamp button, stabilization Mach speed, stabilization linear speed, stabilization altitude, or hold the altitude mode. Below this selector, turn pitch mode, turn bank angle, and this selector select pitch angle. This lamp button engage with stabilization of aircrafts, and this button or switch engage the bank angle mode, and this switch engage the pitch mode. But this all I show you later. Now you can program the coordinates counter to same coordinates counter with first and with second. If this lamp lights, if this indicator lights, this counter, this coordinate counter is active. If this not lights, this coordinate counter is in the standby position. To set up first legs of your flight plan, I call navigation calculator and see in this column or in my utility in this column the course of first course line and set its value in these gauges. 95.9. Press the mouse on this area, right mouse button to quick set and left mouse button to precision set. And when you need to set the first flight plan legs, length of these legs to this coordinate counter, set this primary selector to S position and click this button to set these coordinates. Set the coordinates with a minus sign. With S coordinates 168 value. I press right mouse key. Or I press left mouse button to slowly moving with coordinates. And do not to say the Z coordinates. As I say before, Z coordinates is always in 0. And that's all. We're programming the first legs of flight plan, and we can pre-programming the second legs of flight plan. To programming the second legs, I see on my utility on nav calculator the second row with course of second legs 69.1 and set it in with gauges. I set 70 and press left mouse button to decrease this value. And when I set the legs distance with 200 kilometers, to set it I switch this selector to this position, and on this position I set all of the legs of flight plan, of other legs of flight plan, all legs except the first. It will install in the below position of S coordinates, and in the upper position we will see the coordinates of aircrafts. And that's all. I programming the second legs of flight plan, and this selector not need to set linear turn anticipation. Its value you see with little numeral. In first legs it's value 5, and I say I install 5 of this selector. And that's all for pre-programming procedure of MC. You will agree with me, it's easy. I do not tell at this moment about the flight's corrections, since the first legs we will not do it. I close this panel for this moment. Go to Flight Engineer Place. And connect the fuel automatic. Press O with switch. With and with switch. Connect the fuel gauge and fuel meter. and set it in automate mode. Open caps fire hydrants. Open this panel of engine starts. Switch with switch and this switch on the up position, and this switch to engine number 3 position, and open stop valves of engines. Set the parking brakes and start with engines. I press this button and you see green lights. It tells me the third engine is starting now. And I forgot open fire hydrants of these engines. The first officer say is the engine is starting, and I select second engine, open with fire hydrants and press start button to start second engine. The second is on small. And I select first engine. Open fire hydrants. Close the clamp. And press start button. The first on small speeds. I set this switch to a neutral position of this switch and close this case. In this model the bleed system is not modeling, and we not need to set up this panel. Air bleed from the engines automatic included. I connect with generator of engine. The first officer say the generator is connected. I disconnect GPU and use APU and stop the APU. Oh, sorry, I forgot disconnect a bleed from the APU. It needs to be done to stop. I forgot it. Sorry about this. and off the APU. We need to charge the hydraulic accumulator. To do this, connect the hydraulic station and press this button.
Уважаемые дамы и господа, мы готовимся к взлету. Просим вас пристегнуть привязные ремни, убрать откидные столики и убедиться в том, что спинки ваших кресел находятся в вертикальном положении. Напоминаем вам, что пользование мобильными телефонами, компьютерами, проигрывателями компакт-дисков и другими электронными устройствами во время взлета на высоте снижения и посадки запрещено, так как может помешать работе навигационного оборудования. Благодарим за внимание.
Control the voltage. Connect the autopilot's hydraulics. To do this, set this switch to manual position and switch this 9 switch to upper position and this switch to down position automate mode. To automate mode. Go to the captain place, press shift 1 key to start the recorders. Press on this mouse zone and up this and this button to start the recorders. Close this window and this window. Press shift and 4 key, goes to overhead. We need to alignment the navigation system. To do this, press shift Z key, show you current latitude, set this gauge to help you. It show the value 55 value now I say. When to see the process, I press shift and 1 key. Now we need to connect the navigation and other system to the board network. Connect the radio, heaters, and other old system. RSBN system. No smoking. Exit lights. Turn on radio compass 1 and 2. Turn on Windows heaters and to alignment with system. After install latitude, you need to press this key in the magnetic course on this selector and show these gauges the needle is turning. This arrow begin to move, and hold this button until it stop. Oh, sorry, I say arrow, not this marker begin to move. When I change position of this switch and press and hold this button again, and now the arrow is moving. After the arrow and this maker set to the same position, the navigation system is alignment, and we need to move this switch to gyro compass position. And now connect power to the course system. Turn on the heat tube P3, and now close this panel. Now you need to alignment horizon artificial indicator. To do this, close this panel, open, to press shift and 2 key this panel, open this clamp and press this button, press and hold this button before the artificial horizontal indicator is alignment, and close this clamp. Connect the hydraulic system to the autopilots. Turn on this button and close this cover. Turn on nav lights. Flight lights, and if you need this switch, connect the cabin lights. Arm the auto throttle. To reset this error, go to overhead. And switch this button in the up and in the down position, and close this cover. Close overheads. Lamps is go off. And I forgot the auto throttle in this cover. Set up this button and see green lights. Auto throttle is armed. Arm the autopilot. And at this time close this panel. Turn on taxi lights with position to up, and this switch to down position. Flaps to 15.
Закрылки выпускаются синхронно, стабилизатор перекладывается, предкрылки выпускаются.
set up the stabilizer, install the stabilizer. It has 3 positions: center of gravity of aircrafts, stabilizer depends on the load of aircraft position. In my cases it's set to the average position. Так, at this moment I set altimeters to 0 position. And turn the wheels tuning. Set up position with switch. And now if I set 10 degrees of the tuning of chassis, we need to this lamp is disengaged. I turn to the 63 position to turn the aircrafts over taxi. And we are ready to tow the aircrafts. Park and brake is off. I press Shift and P key. And Shift and P key again. I prepare for takeoff over 6 right runway or 6 left runway. Now we're in the parking position and I set up ILS system. My frequency of ILS is 108.1. I go to airheads. And set up with value. And course of my runways is 064. And when I set my beacons, NDB beacons of runway, the first 700 kHz and second is 338.0. And when I install it in this gauge, I see the needle is show me direction for with beacon. Close with clamp and close our heads. And now I'm taxing to a runway. I turn on flight director. And if you need, you can turn landing mode. In this mode you see glide slope, installing on the overheads, this mode always set before takeoff, but I do not set this mode. I will stop on this position. Turn on the landing lights. And go to enter runway procedure. I and will stop on this position to final prepare to take off. Set the parking brakes. And I move this panel to the left side and change it to come before takeoff. Stop runway lights. Warning alarm not lit. Set the landing mode on autopilot and horizontal situation indicator you see ILS marker. Set switch in position 8 degree and close cap. And we are ready to go. Turn off brakes. Set up a power.
Скорость растет.
Start the calculation on FMC.
180, 200, 220. Рубеж,
V1,
подъем,
rotate,
безопасная.
gear up. After the gear is up, flaps up,
Закрылки упираются синхронно, стабилизатор перекладывается к нулю, прикрылки упираются.
engage the auto throttle, off landing mode,
120 метров. 120 метров.
set stabilization mode on, landing lights off, now you can change bank angle and pitch trim. Use this selector. I forgot set this indicator. Set with switch to navigation mode, landing navigation, and I manually tune to the first road legs. And engage the autopilots. On this mode, the autopilots engaged and the aircrafts go to the first legs. Before engage the autopilots, you can need the stabilization of vertical speed. To up the speed, you can change it with selector. And the marker on the speed meter. Coordinates Z go to 0 and the aircrafts at the first leg. With coordinate counter decrease, and we go to the second point of your flight plan. I disengage the auto throttle. Decrease my vertical speed. With selector. Set the vertical speed. And decrease my linear speeds. I plane in altitude 7,000 meters. To these flights, it's a short flights. I see a little issue. These lights do not present on this time. Perfect, beautiful aircrafts. And I now little decrease my vertical speeds. At the second gauges coordinate counter, you see preparation to new legs, to second legs of flight plan. It automated procedure. You do not worry about it. At this moment we are finishing the first leg of flight plan, and at the distance of turn anticipation linear, these lights aircrafts goes out on the first gauges, and you see these lights and illuminates on the second gauges, and aircrafts change the legs. At any moment you can change the coordinate counter, but using this selector at this position you can change coordinates S on this counter, coordinate Z on this counter, or on this position you can change current coordinates S or current coordinates Z on second counter, coordinates counter, on these gauges. And now I prepare third legs of my flight plan. These legs and finishing legs. Set the course 23.3. And set the distance of these legs 63.28 kilometers. And that's all. And now I show you to correction from the beacon. I correction from the IRSBN beacon. First you need to set coordinates of beacon. Recall you can see these coordinates of ncalc in this row, and map angle, its width, set on this gauges map angle, .9. This angle of IRSBN beacon and coordinates of this beacon. Negative 271 SM coordinates. Set SM, and I install these coordinates on these gauges. And Z coordinates of beacon. $59.2. And after which I can disconnect my autopilots. Oh, sorry, at this moment you at the altitude units, and I set up hold the altitude mode. And now I disconnect my navigation mode, L navigation mode, and connect corrections. And I see no, it's issue of correction. I reset correction. Oh, I am sorry, I forgot. Set a channel of S-band beacon. It's channel 29 or 28, sorry. This channel. Так, and again. For more, very more. And now we're 200 kilometers over legs of flight plan. We drifted 20 kilometers, and to corrections I set navigation mode again, and my aircrafts go to my legs, flight plan legs, or course line. This lamp illuminate show you about the correction is set up now or engaged now. And at GPS you can see the aircrafts go to the flight plan legs and corrects his flights. We're at 187 kilometers over airports of arrival, this value plus this value, and we need descent. To start with descent, I press on these gauges to the selector and set the vertical speeds to descent. And reduce the power using the throttle. Do not forget to turn off the correction mode at the end of road legs. Correction work only for a current legs, not for the next legs. Aircrafts go to descent, and we set now the landing. Prepare for landing. I can land. I planning lands to runway 56 left. It's course 359 and ILS frequency 109.5. I go to overheads and set this value. ILS frequency and course. And you can set the beacons, far beacons and nearest beacons. Far beacons 2, 4, 5. Frequencies and nearest beacons 1030. Now, of course, you need general course necessary to renegotiate the course system, but I not do it because the flight is short and fog of this flight is very little. Close this panel. Add GPS. Yes, to have difference. But is not fair. You realignment at the approach of airports. At the 3000 feet I hold my altitude descent. And now you can turn to the last legs of the flight's plan. Return to the airport of arrival. And at this moment I engage auto throttle, reduce my speeds, $10,000. Now restricts of speeds is present. Set my landing lights. And turn off my FMC, it's not need for me now. I go to my present course because I see the ILS beacon. When I see my glide slope on horizontal situation indicator, I turn to airport manually, where my runway turn to runway manually, or you can use automatic approach capture with lamp button. It's approach button with 3 switches in upper position, and the aircraft turn to runway. Gears down, flaps 30, and click capture glide slope, and we in the landing mode. Aircraft capture glide slope and down to the runway. Flaps full. Reduce speed. Linear speed. You can see little issue over landing lights. Nearest beacon. I turn off my autopilots. I like landing manually. Flaps up. Set taxi lights. Go to overhead and turn, yes, angle to 63. Replay my landing at the tower view. And we'll look at spot view. Taxing to the gate, off all autopilot function, turn off auto throttle, now is day and I set off my lights. Go to overheads and disconnect all gauges. U-76 on parking position. I park my aircraft at Swiss place. Set the parking brakes. And now I can connect with GPU. Turn off all hydraulic systems. You can start APU if you need. I do not do this. And I shut down all engines. Shut off the generator. Off the fuel system. And this is the end of my flights. Always very beautiful aircrafts.